Listening to BearatNight podcast with your host, Jurassic Parker.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages and non-binary, this is the BearatNight podcast with the latest edition of the Dancers Locker Room. And I have one of my favorites, one of my favorite homegirls from the club. And, she go by the name of the lovely GWEN. She's my Gwen Stacy. That's my Gwen Stacy, y'all. That's my Gwen Stacy. She's cool like that. So and then we might have a guest pop in the background, maybe. I don't know. Depending on how she feel. But we'll see about that as the time go on with the pod. And just FYI, if you hear a little beep in the background, sorry y'all. It's a little ghetto. But I'm waiting for the maintenance guy to come fix my the smoke detector because it's too damn high in the ceiling for me, and I don't have a ladder for that. So sorry for being a little extra ghetto. Well, if you hear the background, but you know what? We all have those situations too with the beeps and stuff every now and then. And you know what? We ignore it after a while. Then you just don't hear anything after a while. So yes, that's so further disclosure. And but yes, this is the Dancers Locker Room. And how you doing, Gwen? How you feeling?
Chilling. I'm tired.
I keep seeing you. I keep looking at your sweater, and it keeps reminding me of the Freddy Krueger sweater.
That's what everyone says. I thrifted this. This is a men's sweater.
I mean, that's a nice sweater, but every time I look at it, I think of Freddy Krueger. Like, I don't know. And it's not even the colors. It's just probably because it's red.
Yeah.
That's all.
I don't know. It's my most comfortable sweater.
What is it with girls with taking the guys' sweaters and stuff, and it's just
because they're bigger, more comfortable. I don't know.
You know how many? I've lost so many hoodies over the years. So many hoodies.
I've stolen so many hoodies.
That I'm saying that has happened to me. I've had hoodies that I was like, "Where's that hoodie at? Where's this hoodie at?" And yeah, stolen. I'm scared about hoodies now, and I don't even have a girlfriend. I
actually just found I still wear like my ex-boyfriend. Not her counting money in the back.
They balling, y'all. They balling.
I still wear my ex-boyfriend's hoodies, like not because of him, but just because
it's just the comfortability. But don't you smell like that person after a while, or does it fade? Or
no, it faded. Like he was like an ex of like years ago. So
I always wonder that, like, especially if you're with the next guy.
Oh, I gave my new guy his old sweater.
Wow.
Actually, the other day, I'm like, I mean, it's my ex's. Do you still want it? He's like, yeah.
I mean, it fits and it's nice. And like, hey, he ain't gonna wear it. He's not wearing it. So,
yeah, it was one of those Juice WRLD. It was like do you remember when there was like a whole revenge line of the Juice WRLD shit?
Nah.
It's like kind of pricey for them.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so it's like a kind of a pricier sweatshirt. So I was like, I'm not gonna throw it away.
No. Like if it's either that or Goodwill, I guess. So either or. Well,
like,
first of all, we all know that Gwen is your stage name. But what got you into being a professional dancer?
So, I mean, before I started working in clubs in general, I was a waitress, I was a barista, and honestly, I was just coming home with I was working so hard, and I barely had any money to show for it. So after a while, I just got so tired of being broke, and I wanted my own place. Like I was I was still living at home. I wanted my own place. I wanted freedom. I wanted money to like go on vacation and buy stuff. And so after a while, I was just like, you know what? I'm gonna go apply somewhere. And
Mm.
well, no, I actually didn't start out as a dancer. I started out as a shop girl
Okay.
originally at the first two clubs that I worked at.
So what made you go from shot girl to like to the dancing part? Was it like too many offers, or was it like you just noticed like, oh, there's a lot
The
more money
money,
over here?
the money.
Yeah.
I saw the money. Plus, like if you're a shop girl, you don't work during the week usually.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I mean, the club that we work at, it's a little different. But at the other clubs that I would work at during the week, they wouldn't have me there because it wasn't busy ever. So
Gotcha.
like, I mean, you probably as a shop girl could make a little more money at the club that we work at because there's the other side.
Right.
But at the other two clubs I was working at, I only worked weekends and I was making like decent money, but I wanted something like during the week.
Yeah, I get it. And like actual schedule,
Yeah.
get actual money coming through. I get it. Um, but how long was you a shot girl before that? Before you made that decision?
I was at the first club for maybe like 2 months and I didn't like the management at all. They were they were just very unprofessional and I could never like I never had any of my questions answered. Like I'd never worked in a club before, so I didn't really know what I was
Right.
doing.
Sounds
And
very sketchy.
yeah, and they were just weird and the security was bad there too. So then the next club that I worked at, same thing. It was like sketchy, extremely ghetto.
Yeah.
It was ghetto.
A lot of fights. A lot of fights.
No, not a lot of fights, but just like the environment and the
Yeah.
type of people walking in there.
It was to a point where you kind of like it was kind of like, oh, this is, I don't feel a little safe here. This is not.
Yeah, I mean, the first club that I worked at, it was fine. It was like in an area that I knew very well.
Right.
So it wasn't that one wasn't too bad, but the other one was like literally in the middle of ghetto. And so I'd be leaving there and there'd be people like trying to talk to me while I'm leaving and I'm just like which is not okay, but okay. Like it's not super
But like
scary,
getting
but
to your car, getting,
yeah, that's when it would get like a little yeah, the security there in both places were just bad.
it's so funny because I hear that so many times about other clubs. It's different from our club that we're at, but it's like I kind of assume like, oh, this happens everywhere. That's when I first started working as a security. And I thought that happens everywhere. Did it come to find out from learning from like going a couple times to the clubs or just hear from like girls' experiences at other spots that not every club does the same thing. You know.
No, right. Like I mean, at our club, we're like being watched the whole time to make sure like nobody's being too aggressive or
Yeah.
weird. But at the first club I worked at, they didn't care at all.
Sheesh.
Like there was people doing way too much with me at first and like I said it was my first
Yeah.
club, so I didn't like know like how they worked. And that's like the weird thing about clubs in general too. Is like not in Connecticut, but some other states they do things a whole lot differently.
Mm,
Like I'm sure you
yes.
can guess
Yeah.
what I'm saying.
I mean, I've heard some things from other clubs, and I've listened to other girls' experiences. Like it's the good time. I mean, it sucks when we have slow nights and stuff or whatever, but it's also kind of cool at times where I get talk to some of the girls, some of y'all, and like hear y'all experiences at other clubs, and or hear y'all talk about it in the locker room, or whatever. Just like, oh, this club was this and that, and if y'all had the same, y'all been to the same club before, y'all had the same situation, and like overhearing and like, oh shit, that sucks, like, or that's what
Yeah.
they do over there. Oh, I didn't know that. Like, and this is one of the reasons why I got to tell customers too, like. I don't care what other club you've been to before,
Yeah, because
what
I
you got
mean,
to do at those other clubs, or or heard or experience whatever. But we don't do none of that here.
yeah, I mean, I get hit with some wild questions
Yeah,
at this club, and it's like that's part of like what you kind of sign up for is like being able to handle that.
right.
But me
Yeah.
at like I was 20 at the time working there. Me at 20 years old, never like barely ever even stepping foot in a strip club as a customer,
Hmm.
barely ever being in a club like that in general. I had no idea. I had no
Right.
idea what they were necessarily expecting of me. It's like I don't know. And like I've heard things from like people that I used to associate with going to the clubs that I worked at previously and saying that girls were offering a whole lot more than just dances
Yeah.
and that being like kind of allowed,
Yeah.
which is not what I do. And
It
but you
is.
wonder how people are making so much money at clubs like that.
Hmm.
And then I was like, oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah. Or sometimes it'd be in the same. Sometimes be the same club you work in, and it's just like, why does this person get so many people calling for them or looking for them, especially, you know,
Yeah, and that's why.
like it's like why? Um, How did you go from? Because I've never got to ask this question before. It just dawned on me, like the feeling of coming from like the regular 9 to 5 stuff and doing waitressing and whatnot, but now being able, being a dancer, but now the guys that would never probably talk to you or try to say something to you, like in person outside of the club. Now they have this opportunity. They could like touch your butt, all this stuff, and because they have, because they want to do a dance, so they have this opportunity now. What's that like coming from not being touched to now? It's like people touching your butt on a regular basis, or try to basically grope every time, whatever. Even if they like, because I've seen guys that don't have the money,
Do that,
and
yeah.
they'll just talk to you, not
Okay,
just
let
you
me
personally,
just say
but
this. Let
just
me
they'll
say
just
this.
feel rub and dub and all that stuff. Try to like, cop a
I
feel.
what I have learned, this is like one of the biggest things that I've learned,
Yeah.
is the brokest people
Mm-hmm.
will expect the most out of you.
Oh
Like
yeah. Yeah.
they will try the most. Like they will push your boundaries like no other. The guys who have money
Right.
usually will sit there, talk to you, sometimes don't even want to dance. Like they'll just hand you money
Yeah.
because it's like I'm not sure why that is, like why the brokest people there
Mm-hmm.
push the most. It's like, well, even if I like, all right, so if you're wanting me to do A, B, and C when we go get a dance,
Mm-hmm.
what do you have for me? Like,
Right.
why would I do anything extra for you when
Mm-hmm.
you give me a hard time about the price in the first place?
Exactly.
It's
Yeah.
wild to me.
It's.
But
I think it's cheaper than like with the rich guys. I think it's like the guys that has the money, necessarily saying that they're rich. They probably just got they
yeah,
know
they
how to.
don't flaunt it either.
Yeah. So I think it's probably cheaper than therapy, most likely. You know.
Oh yeah, most of the time they just want to talk
Yeah.
and like have a drink with you.
And I've
And
seen it. Like they want it, but they want the one-on-one instead of being distracted by somebody coming. So yeah, I'll pay for the champagne room instead just to get a half hour, another half hour, just so I can have that one-on-one talk, whatever. And I've seen the guys do the whole head on the girl's lap,
Yeah.
just talking for hours and stuff. And I'm like, damn, how much money do they have just to spend like this? But literally, they're not doing anything, just sitting
Yeah.
there.
I mean, yeah, on the slower days, like during the weekday or like a Sunday, it's usually, this is gonna sound kind of, I'm not meaning for this to sound mean, but it's kind of more sad.
Mm.
Like where the guys, I've heard so many people, like so many people have talked to me about like, I have this one regular, and we were talking, and he was just saying like how his wife like doesn't want anything to do with him like that.
Right.
And it made me feel like kind of horrible, but it also made me feel sad for him as
I,
well.
I,
And sad for her. It made me feel sad for kind of everyone in the situation. But yeah, I don't know. The guys who have money, they're not necessarily there just to try to take you to the back for
yeah.
extra shit. It's like, they're lonely.
Yeah, there's a lot of lonely guys that come there, and a lot of, but it's just, I don't know. I got sympathize with some guys, but then some, and then I got, you have your regulars that just come there for the beer,
Yeah.
it just happens to be a girl, but this is like the only bar that they're comfortable with in like 10 miles radius from they live, um,
Right. And I understand that part, like wanting to have a beer and like looking at pretty girls. Like
right.
I get it. But it'll always piss me off. I
What what has been
Oh
like
wait, to answer your question from
oh
before, um, I was, at first I was super uncomfortable with
mhm,
with people touching me like that. It took me a minute.
right
I was like so like caught off guard even though I knew that's what was gonna happen.
right
But I was like, wow. Like it just puts perspective on how a lot of men think, because a lot of men and women
hmm
sometimes they
yeah.
think that they're entitled to you as soon as they walk in the door.
So
Doesn't
a lot of
matter if they
times the
have money
women
or
that be
not.
worse. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, as soon as they walk in there, they think like, well, I'm pretty sure you know how guys look at us in general
Oh yeah, and
when they come in. We're
uh,
not people.
what I've heard, what I overheard, what I've been like told by customers and stuff, and a lot of them be like, "Yo, I don't care about these bitches." I'm like, why are you here? Like, yeah, you talking all this stuff, but you've been here damn near all day.
Yeah.
I hear all of that, and in this a
You
lot
hear
of
that we're
times,
dirty, that we're whores, that
yeah,
like that we're not. I've had someone told me like point at down there.
yeah,
Like I already told you this, and tell me that that's worth nothing because I'm there. And I'm like, so why did you just slide me a $20 bill then?
exactly,
Like guys will say the most and try to like, I feel like that's kind of like in their mind, some dudes love that. Like think like degrading women, they do. And so what better place to do that at a place where we're naked dancing for
you know
money?
what's the worst I've heard too is like the guys that proceed like this. They don't know nothing about the because it's a lifestyle, it's a culture. The strip club culture is a whole thing,
Yeah.
and if you don't know the ins and outs and the psychological stuff about it, and how the girls are like, that's why I made this platform like just for
That's my room.
so other people that
Okay.
understand, what it's really like. It just because they just people say, oh, you just meet on stage, you're just a body, you just
Yeah.
tits and ass, whatever. And it's like, no, this is a person with a brain, this person with a soul, this person that has stuff going on. This is just the path they chose at the moment. It doesn't mean it's going to be they want this thing all the rest of their life. It doesn't mean it's going to dictate everything. It doesn't even matter if they are that this, what you think of the fact of what you think of their job is who they are on the real outside of the thing. So it's like when I see guys and girls get to the club and they just try to do the most, especially when you're on stage. And it's been a few times I'm like, hey, have some respect. Like
Yeah, I
they
say
try to
that to
dig
people.
in and try to be extra. And I'm like, yo, hold up, this is a person.
Yeah,
Calm the hell down.
yeah. I mean, sometimes when I'm on stage, like I think we were talking about this yesterday, they'll just
Hmm.
take out their phone, and
Yeah,
I'm like, so in what world do you think that that's okay? That when you're on stage, you're just gonna take out your phone? I don't know if you're recording me.
yeah.
Like,
Well, they get so bad.
they just don't. It just all like kind of leads back to them not respecting the girls at all.
Yeah.
And like, it's so weird. It's so weird. Like, especially when I first started, I was too shy to like say anything. I didn't want to offend anyone, and it's like, but at the end of the day, I started like telling myself, I'm like, they don't respect me
Hmm.
at all. They don't respect me at all. Like, why do I need to be nice about them touching me
Yeah.
when they're not supposed to, slapping me too hard, doing the absolute most when they don't care about me and there's no money to show for it when they're
And when
doing
she said slap, not mean to slap in the face, y'all. Just so you know, FYI, just slap in like butt stuff.
that's
Not
what I
butt
meant.
stuff, but slap her butt. But no
Because
slapping in the
people
face.
do like there was a guy on stage maybe like a few weeks ago, and it was on the fully nude side, and he just like I was doing like that trick with your legs where you're like this in the air,
Yeah,
whatever. He fully took a hand like full of cash and slapped it where he's not supposed to.
I hate when they do that.
And I was like not even just like threw the money there because that's annoying in general. And
Yeah,
I could talk about that for hours, but he fully slapped his whole hand like that.
yeah,
And I was like, don't do that. Like
yeah.
what is
And
and
money is dirty.
yeah.
Money is dirty. And
Like would you want like to any guy, I just try to say like I try to say this. I'm like, okay, so let's say that I touched every single doorknob in a building,
hmm
touched a railing, then scratched my asshole a little bit and then went and try to, you know?
yeah,
Imagine that.
yeah.
Like that's disgusting. That money has been on floors, been passed to multiple people,
You don't
like
know where it was at.
exactly. Like you wouldn't want that touching you there. So
Hmm.
why would you try to
And
like put it in there? First of all,
yeah,
some try to do that or just have it there in general. It's like
yeah.
use your
And
brain.
they try to play
Like
stupid, but
think.
like I see it all the time when they do the money thing. It's their way of saying, "I didn't touch. I just put the money on it." No, don't be an asshole. Like I know what you're
That's
doing.
just even worse at that point. It's
You
even
using
worse.
the money as a guide to have it, so you still touch the butt, touch whatever you're trying to do. But in the sense of I'm just dropping money. No, I'm not stupid. Stop doing that. And when they do stuff like that, I sometimes I tell myself because it's like I already told them enough times already. Stop doing stuff like that. It's like, all right, you gotta go. And it's like I'm just throwing money. No, you're not. No, you're being extra. You're trying to do too much. Like you're not showing no type of respect to the person. Like, come on now. Like this
Yeah,
could be like I look at it like this could be your sister, your mom, and like would you
yeah.
want anybody to do that to them? Like it's the same thing. Um, and it's funny you said a little bit about when you're new. I've seen that too, where girls when they're new, guys. Matter of fact, there's a guy that comes in there that he loves when they're new. Like if it's a new girl because if they're new, like you said, you get scared. You don't want to mess nothing up, so they can take advantage.
Wait, is it the bald one?
Yes. Yeah.
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 Yep.
Yep. So like,
he is insane.
yeah, and he likes.
Do you know what he asks girls to do?
Oh, I know. We're not gonna talk about it on the pod, but I know.
Yeah.
And it's just that's a whole other story. But still, it's just like guys like him, like they look for the newer ones, the young new ones, especially if they're smaller, and then like especially if they're super new, they don't know nothing. Like it's their first day, their second day, because that means they could do a dance in the booth, or whatever. They could try to touch and do extra, try to cop a feel, do whatever extra, and the girl's gonna be a little scared and timid because she don't know if I really want to get this money, but I don't want to. I want him to stop, but if I stop, he might take the money away. Not knowing that, hey, you could stop this at any time and tell security what's going on, and you still have your money. He just fucked up the rules. He just so
yeah.
Girls, that happens a lot, and especially if you're new, especially if I didn't know, if I find out especially if I know who the guy coming in, like I let you know ahead of time. Hey, this is this guy. He's this and this. Let you know if you want to do it. This is out of your own free will.
Yeah.
But I'm giving you a heads up.
The girls are usually good about that too.
Yeah.
Like, they'll warn people about certain people.
Yeah.
Like I did that. So there was a guy from my previous club who would go in there all the time, and he never spent any money, like not even at the bar really. He never really spent any money, never spent money on girls. He would just go around and ask all the girls who's gonna go home with him, basically.
Wow.
But I had a conversation with him, very brief conversation, and he was talking to me about why none of the girls wanted to go home with him. And I'm like, well, that's not what this is. And then he was like saying certain things that made him sound extremely predatory. Like talking about younger females in a certain way. And I was like, okay, we're done here. So then when I started working at our club, I saw him there, and I was kind of warning people. I'm like,
wait, is he bald too?
He's got like a little.
Okay. That was another. It's like a couple. There's a couple of them there.
He was just very, very predatory. Is the best way to put it, and he's disgusting.
I've seen the stuff where it's like, because I always tell girls, if you get a dance with a guy and it worked out well, you make good money, make sure you keep the contact so that way they can come back again for you. But I've also seen I've seen a little bit of both sides, like the girls that have their guy, but then like they might like somebody else that day, and now it's like, that's my man, that was my guy, and now it's a fight type of thing. Like it's a whole thing, but it's like he just chose somebody else today. It was just, that was you yesterday, this is today. He can still come back to you tomorrow or later on after this, but it's free choice, And I've also seen the other way around where if you're doing it, you got a dance and this guy coming in just for you, but you're doing you may trying to make money and stuff. Do this dance, he's getting upset because he thought it was all you. It was all for him. All the dances and the time is for him. And then he storms off.
Well, it's good to have a regular who knows what is happening there.
Yeah, I've seen those too. Yep.
Yeah, because I have a regular. The other day, he gave me $500, like just for sitting with him. But then there's other days where he'll spend like that type of money on other people. And it's like, when you work at the strip club, you can't be a hater. Like, we're all there to make money. And at the end of the day, nobody should be getting jealous over a customer.
True. Now, talk about making $500 just sitting down. We're in a time right now where it's kind of slow. it's a bit of a slow season. Even it's slow right now, even if it's tax season. Usually we have more. It's a lot more customers coming in their own. But it's not just us; it's other clubs. It's happening too.
But we're better off.
Yeah,
We're
yeah.
doing better compared.
Compared to other clubs, especially other clubs that is known to be extra slow because of the type of girls they have there. Sometimes, um, what's your take on like because you make $500 that day, but then you have your slow days, but then you also have a really good days. Like the
Yeah.
how do you what is it deal with that? Because one moment you could be having a really good week, and then the next it's really crappy. It can be crappy for the next two
Yeah.
weeks. How do you mentally deal with that? Like,
Well, so I mean that's like kind of a very complicated question. So when I first started, I was doing like pretty decent.
mm,
Like for just starting, I was making like 700, $800 a night, and it was
right,
fucking great.
right.
And that's how I literally, when I first started there, I moved out like a month later, as soon as
Oh
I
wow,
started working there. Because I could afford it. But since it's been slow, um, I mean, I just like it's not a consistent pay,
hmm
obviously. So it's like this is the only job I work right now, anyways. So you have to be a little more conscious about what you're spending,
right,
like just as a person, like working this job, I have to like plan out my funds and shit. But then like you have to try a little more.
right,
Like before, like if I needed a break, like it was like a 30-minute break, I could go sit in the back and do that. But now it's like pressure's on a little bit, like
mm,
try harder.
right. I know we was talking last night. We was saying it like we was in the booth talking and about how like I'm making more money at that moment because regardless my pay is going to be the same pretty much as my days of the week or whatever.
Yeah.
So it's never really going to deviate from, last week or whatever, unless I take a day off or whatever. Um, but for you, it's like you can have an $800 day, a 910, a 1500, you know, and then just have a $200 night, you know.
Sometimes less.
Yeah, and
Lately,
you work.
lately it's been kind of less because it's slow.
That's
And
what didn't you do? You was able to you was able from now. I think from when we talked that night, you was able to catch up out of nowhere because we had some guests come in and start throwing money. So like I always tell people, that every night, every day is unpredictable because you never really know what's going to happen. Because we literally talked about dang slow, nobody's throwing any
yeah,
money, and then like the last hour before we actually closed up, a group came in actually throwing money, and it's like, hold up,
yeah.
let me get
So
a
like
bag.
group, well, yeah, I had a
Let me
horrible day, like the entire day yesterday. Like
Yep.
horrible. Not one dance, like
hmm
stage was horrible, nothing. Then like you just said, the last hour, these like people came in last minute with stacks of money and
Yeah.
just started throwing, and I'm like, it it's so crazy how fast your attitude will change.
Yep. Really.
Like once there's well, because if you think about it, like this is kind of what me and the other dancer were saying to you yesterday, is that if you like we're paying to make money there. It's
hmm
kind of like we're gambling a little bit. Like
Right.
we're paying the house fee, we're paying the DJ fee, we're whatever we're paying, but like sometimes like
People don't think about that part.
yeah, like you are technically paying to be there.
Yeah.
And when there's nobody there, it feels like we're dancing for free.
hmm
Sometimes we basically are. And so if you see a lot of grumpy strippers, like that's probably why.
True.
Like we're losing money. by being there sometimes.
Yeah, and that's why when I see some of y'all when you sit around like it's slow, but I'm like, damn, just in case, did y'all talk to those two guys over there just to cover all bases, just to make sure you cover all bases. Um,
Some of them just aren't worth speaking to. Like, I don't know. Like, there's a type for everyone as well.
right.
So it's like just by watching people, like a majority of the job is just like watching people, seeing who they go up to stage for, seeing
Mm,
who they're talking to, and seeing like whatever, right? How they look at you when you're on stage. You can kind of pinpoint if they like you or not. So some
true.
people just aren't even worth talking to because they're just gonna like
The
waste your time.
the sheer way I've known if customers really like a person is that moment where one girl's on stage and they throw money and stuff or whatever, and then the next girl gets on, and then like everybody just leaves the
Yep.
stage, and I feel so bad for the girl because it's like it's just
It's a
that just
horrible feeling.
like
Not nice. Like it's happened to
yeah,
me.
it sucks. I'm like, oh really? Everybody goes like, damn, okay, that's screwed. That's screwed up, you know. But like you said, everybody has their type, like because I've
Yeah.
seen guys come in and like, oh, what are thick girls at? What are big girls at? What are these thick ones, whatever? And I'm like, we got some fit, we got fit ones, we got some slim curvy, we got no super thick ones, like
Yeah.
know.
Yeah, everyone has their type. And I've had a dude straight up tell me, like, go straight up tell me that I'm just not his type, that he just didn't like me. And I'm like, that's fine.
Oh yeah, everybody's
He can't be
everybody can
offended.
have their own type. Yeah,
He
everybody's
can't be offended.
can do that. That's fine. Um, Now when it comes to the whole thing, like, what has been like your best like fun moment working
Fun
as a dancer?
moment?
Yeah, like have you had one yet, or like
Yeah, there's this
best night?
so I mean, there's a couple. Like there's like I love when the bartenders who like work um the night shift until like 12:45, they come over and they're
Uh,
fun and they like help us make money a little
oh, I
bit.
know who you're talking about. Yep.
Yeah, like they do that, which is always fun. But also there's like I love for a majority of the time I love women customers. I love
Okay.
them so much. They're like it feels like the girls' bathroom. Like when I'm on stage sometimes because they just hype you up, and the women always come in with money too.
Okay.
Usually. So from my experience, they usually come with money because they know that they're a woman. They like know they know.
I mean I always sometimes when I get if it's a group of women, sometimes I get nervous because I've seen some women like just be extra, like
I
like
kind of let them know. That's
see, and
like
see, we can't have see. This is why we and then
I know, but
it
I
screws
know you're
us
not
up.
supposed to like smack people's ass on stage, but I let them. I'm like, all
No,
right, like you're
yeah. If okay, I can let it go a few times. Like if it's playful, whatever. That's it. Having a good time. I don't want to disrupt it. But when it gets extra, which I mean, like they're literally like trying to leave a mark. They're like trying to like put
yeah.
like their whole fist in you, whatever type of thing. Like I've seen a girl do that. Like to put her whole hand, try to yeah. And I'm like, hold the hell up, wait, hold up, you can't do that. And she's just like, oh, what, you don't like two girls? You're like, I don't care about two girls. I just don't care. I care about you not fisting this lady on stage. Like, can you not do that? Like that's
Okay, yeah. Well, that's not what I mean. I mean when they do a little extra, like they whatever smack your ass or just
but
like
like if they're having fun and it's a good
yeah.
gun fun and
But if it was a
if you're
dude
enjoying
doing
it,
that to me,
yeah.
forget about it. Like
But
that would never happen.
and I usually judge like, especially if you're having fun, like okay, you're smiling and they're both smiling. I can see that. Okay, I ain't gonna really. But I still gotta be like, because it's still the rules. After a while, like,
Yeah.
hey, it's enough now. It's enough. I let you go for a couple minutes now. Just gotta cool off a little bit. Try again in like 10, 15 minutes and do it again. Just don't do it all the time. Because I don't
Yeah.
want to get cussed out. Because whatever. And it also, when girls do that, it trickles down to the guys, the other guys around, and they're like, "Oh, she's smacking butts. I want to do that too." And then they think they
Yeah.
can do it,
I
and
mean,
then
there was
they mess it up. They just
actually
mess it up.
there was this woman there. There was this customer,
Excuse me.
and she told like she was like telling the girls like she was so respectful, so cool, threw a bunch of money, and she like brought guys over from the bar to use their money to throw
Oh
on
no,
them.
that's nice.
And so like whatever, she was like smacking my butt a little bit, like I was like, putting on a show for her group of friends, and then the guy tried and she like shut it down.
Mm.
It was pretty funny. Like she was like, "No, you can't do that." He was like, "Why? You're doing it." She's like, "Because." And I was like, "Yeah, yeah, because." And
because
she, it turns out that chick was a dominatrix.
wow.
And
Now
I was
that's
like,
somebody. That's the type of person
"Holy
I
shit."
would love to like interview because it's like I would love to know the ins and outs. How do you do it? Why? Like it's just that's crazy. So you mean
That's
some
a
of those
pretty
guys was
cool
like her
job.
slaves type of thing? Was that her?
I mean, I didn't really get into detail with her about it, but she was just
Wow.
like she brought over two guys with her friends, and like she was just saying that she was a lesbian and dominatrix. And I was like,
Mm.
"You were the coolest motherfucker I've ever met." Like, you were so cool.
You know,
And yeah,
coming from talking to you outside of this stuff, like outside, just like personally, I can kind of see you doing that. I can kind of see it.
I'd be amazing at it.
I think you kind of be good at it.
I'd be
I think
amazing at it.
I think you would do really good at that.
Loki, I've never like I haven't told you this before, but there was like one incident when I did do that, like once, where I was kind of in a dominatrixy role, but like I was too young. I didn't know what the fuck I was doing, so I couldn't do it then, but I could do it now.
I think you would thrive in that type of environment.
Oh my gosh, I would just laugh. It would be I would that would be the easiest money
Oh my god,
I've
I can see you
made.
just walking around with two guys like with collars and stuff. Just they're on all fours and just standing up behind you, walking. You just gotta chain up. That'd be like you're like these are my minions. Like
These are
I
my
can see that.
wallets. Um, yeah, I could do it. I feel
I
like
can
I'd be
see
good
that for
at
you.
it.
I think that might be your next step in life. I think that
Yeah,
might be it. I think
gotta
that could
find
work.
them.
Yeah, easy money too. I mean, shoot.
Easy money. Like, so all I have to do is just be mean to men.
Yeah, I seen a girl
Okay.
do it online, and she was mean to the guy. He was over just FaceTime, and she was
Yeah.
telling him what to do. And I'm like, that was it. You
It's
got
just about finding them.
a lot of weird kooky people out there. A lot
Mhm.
of weird kooky ones. When it comes to the dancing stuff, like, um, have you ever been in like when it comes to dating and in that whole world, like, has that been an issue? Have you
Yeah.
like been a dancer and trying to have an actual stable relationship?
Yes,
Uh,
for sure. Um, there. I mean, with my boyfriend, we were already dating when I started working at clubs. And at first, like, he was like, "Yeah, that's so awesome, da da da,"
mhm.
and like whatever. But it was like kind of the more stories of just people being really disrespectful or just like stuff happening. He got jealous and angry that people more angry that I was being treated like that.
Right.
And like you have to try to it's hard to explain those types of things to someone who's not familiar with that space.
Right.
So it's
Right.
like, oh yeah, someone hitting me too hard or something like that. Um, is normal for me, but him hearing that he like wants to pull up to the club and like shoot the dude.
Right.
Like, um, but not only that, like it's kind of weird. So like the customers at the club will see me all dressed up, like at my best, right?
Mm-hmm.
All put together
Yeah.
in these cute outfits, but then he sees me like this a lot of the time.
It's not like you said. It's like a horrible thing.
Well, no, just like bummy and like in pajamas and like whatever. Like a lot of the time, that's how he sees me. So I think sometimes he gets jealous that he doesn't like get to see me like that all the time. Like he thinks I'm pretty now, obviously. Like he always he'll tell me,
Yeah.
but I think well he said before like they don't deserve to like see that like or some people don't deserve to see you like that. I was like, you're right, but
Yeah.
it is what it is. Like that's
I
the
mean,
job.
but it's also part of the job. It's just like say,
Yes,
like I feel like it's the same way if you work corporate type of thing. You gotta
yeah,
have the best. You gotta have the best, outfit on and everything. Gotta have the makeup on and everything because you gotta be presentable because you go into the office and stuff and yada yada yada. Does that do you want to do that every day? No, no. That's why there's a dress down day. So people just don't. Some people have a dress down at some jobs. On Fridays, but majority of it you gotta be dressed up and look good. And
yeah,
it's just your uniform is not a pantsuit and a dress shirt or whatever the case would be, or a jacket is, maybe a two-piece or a one-piece outfit, but it's part of the job,
yeah,
so it's still got to be presentable because the
yeah.
the
I
outside
think
is
what I mean,
dictating your rent.
what I more meant was by saying that is like it's more like I don't know, like I don't wear my outfits for him usually.
Oh,
And he gets mad at that. He's like, well, why? But not only that, I mean, he giving out your number to regulars or to people who you want to be a regular,
mm-hmm.
getting questioned about that is like it's like a trust thing too. Like he'll look at my phone and see like one of my regulars texting me asking me when I'm gonna be there and he just like gives me a look sometimes and I'm like it's
Well,
part of the job.
so you don't have like the WhatsApp or whatever, or is that
Honestly, I'm not gonna do all that and I won't answer on there. Like if I really have an issue like I don't give my number out to everyone who
right?
asks. So it's like if I see them like twice a week there and they're like mainly talking to me, yeah, I'm gonna give them my number. Plus, a lot of like the regulars that I've like kind of picked
Right.
have, have wives, which is horrible to say again, but it's like part of the job. It's like
Mm-hmm.
they're not gonna start problems for me.
Right.
You know what I mean?
I get.
They're not gonna start a problem for me. In like or stalk me or anything like that.
That's true.
But
I get.
I have thought about getting the WhatsApp thing, but I probably will. And I'll probably use that like if somebody asks for my number and I like really don't want to give it to them, I'll just give them that.
Because I look at it all about for the idea is like safety,
Yeah.
because some guys are creeps. Some guys are, I just heard about something last night that happened, and I'm like, wow, okay, and it's just like, I mean, they could just know where you live by just your location, you know, if you
Yeah.
have like, if you have what is it, uh,
Area code.
Snap or whatever the case, or um, so I mean, a lot of people out there are weird, so you just gotta be really, really careful um, about what customers you give your number to, whatever. Um, when it, so what was here? So like yeah, so with being a dancer, like how does your like what about family? Do like family friends like how do they feel about it? Do they know or
So my family knows. Um, they weren't happy with me.
mm,
Um, like, I mean, I wasn't really close with my family to begin with, but when I told them that I was working there, um, like the second they started having a problem with it, I'm like, okay, so do you want to pay my rent then? Like, okay, so you don't want me working here?
right?
So can you pay that for me then? Like
Look at you.
they never they didn't disown me or anything like that, but they definitely weren't like way to go, you know, they weren't like happy for me either.
It's
Um
crazy. That's crazy. I'm glad that they
yeah.
didn't do that. Could that be that was suck? That you know.
Yeah, I mean, and I mean, I posted like like some things on like my personal social media just cuz I personally don't care who knows about that.
Mm,
Like I feel like it's 2025. Like stop with the whole like stigma of strip clubs and whatever. And you know, and there's like been some people from like my hometown clearly like stalking my page and like talking shit, and it's like I don't care. I don't, with the amount of money that I walk away with some days, I'm like I don't care.
exactly. Yeah. It's just hating most likely. Like how much you
Yeah,
get paid? How much you getting? Man,
I posted this thing and it was like pretty much saying that, and I was like, you make 25 an hour breaking your back to make that.
right.
I make more than you. I can make 100 an hour breaking my back, right? For what? Like you're just jealous at that point.
Got you. True.
And half of the time, like there's been friends who I cut off a friend recently, and she always like whenever we would get into an argument or anything like that, she would always throw that in my face. Like she'd be like, "Sorry, sorry that I work a 9 to 5, like a real job." And I was like, "Oh, so is that why you don't do this? You don't do this, you don't do this, you can't afford this, you can't afford that? Is that why?" And I was like, "If you could work there, you would."
Mm-hmm.
Like half of the people who talk the most crap about girls who work there couldn't work there.
Yeah,
And
that's true.
like I'm not that's not even me trying to be a like mean, but it's true. It's like people will go from hyping you up and be like, "Yeah, period," to, "Oh, well, you're a stripper, you're whatever." And it's like,
It's funny
if
how
you could, you would. If you could work there, you would. I
yeah,
know you would.
it's funny how after working this thing so long, like for years, and understanding the ins and outs and stuff, whatever. People like to use oh you just a dancer, you just a hook, you like a stripper, but when they say stripper, they put it in the same category as a hooker, like a
Yeah.
prostitute type of thing, and it's like not necessarily. You do have some girls that will take business for themselves, you know, but majority no. It's like, but people like to use that, and that can be cool. It can be like your best friend, your cousin, your mom, or your
People like
significant other. They
people
always throw that in
like
your face later,
yeah.
somehow, some way.
Yeah, the girl that I like was just saying like was just talking shit to me about not having like her working her real job, right? I'm
Mm-hmm.
like, she knows how it is there. She knows like the rules. She knows who I am and that I would that me personally, like, to each their own if they want to, like you
Yeah,
said, put their own business outside of the club. I don't do that.
yeah,
Um, like, you could say a million times what the job is, but if the second someone gets mad at you as a dancer, they're gonna throw it in your face.
oh yeah, yeah. And
Like,
thankfully, I haven't had to tell the girl. Uh, I would say in this past shit, probably the past year, I have really haven't tell the girl, hey, take that, meet that guy at the gas station. If you're gonna, we don't do that here. Take that guy, meet that guy at the gas station. Don't don't do that here. We don't. I haven't had to say that, which is crazy, like in itself to think about that. But that just tells me how much of a difference of girls that we have now in the club,
yeah.
and that don't really do all that stuff, and which is I'm happy, about too, because it just tells me the type of person they are, really. Um,
Well, I feel like you can also kind of tell a little bit
yeah.
how they interact with people.
Yeah, but sometimes it can be surprising too. You'd be surprised. I've been surprised before a few times. Um, but with the whole club life and stuff, and the world of like, cause you're a smaller girl and stuff. You're a petite lady, but in this big old world of like dancers, like with the BBLs and the boob jobs and everything, and all the body augmentation stuff. Has there ever been like any type of thought of trying to do that, or like look at, if she's getting paid this much or whatever, maybe I should do this or whatever, or any of those type of thoughts? I like that answer. I like that answer. Be yourself. Be natural.
I like they look good.
Yeah.
Like a lot of them look good, and some of them I can't even tell.
Mm-hmm.
But I've never been like envious in that
Right.
aspect. Um, I mean, the only things that I've ever like considered getting done was like a little lip filler, and then like my nose is crooked, so like fixing my nose. But anything else really,
Mm-hmm.
no. Like I would never get a BBL. Just because BBLs are they they can be trendy.
Mm-hmm.
Like they were a trend for a little bit,
Yeah, I
and
see it's
it's
dying
like,
down though now. Yeah.
yeah, now it's like now. I mean, if like you go on TikTok now, like the new trend is like health, fitness, being super super skinny again, and it's like I'm not gonna like permanently change myself to fit any sort of beauty standard in that moment.
Right.
Um, Plus, like I was saying before, there's someone for everybody. Like
Exactly.
there's a type of girl for everybody. Guys who like the BBL look, like the whole really
Mm-hmm.
like hourglass figure look. Yeah, there's plenty of girls
Exactly.
there for that. Me, I don't know exactly how I would explain my body type, but like I don't have huge boobs. I don't have like a huge butt, but it's like I'm thinner.
It fits you.
Yeah,
It fits.
it's me. So if I don't know, like I would never.
You're not a twig. You're not like anorexic. You're not
Yeah,
have you have curves. You have something there, so
yeah, I'm not
um
super super thin, but it's like, yeah, I don't think like it doesn't matter how much money someone
mhm.
would be making in front of me with a boob job with a BBL. I'm like, good for them. I'm like,
Yeah,
good for you. Make your money. Do what you do. And like people who do get surgeries like that, I'm like, I just hope that they got it for themselves.
exactly. I've seen girls get it. Matter of fact, it won't be intimidation from the girls. It'd be like from them hearing it over again from customers when they be on
Yeah.
stage. And a lot
Yeah.
of
Do
times
you know
that
how
would
many
mess up
times
girls.
like somebody like I don't know, like TMI, but like my boobs like grew a
Hmm.
bit and they were super small. But I've never had any complaints, but I've heard like some people like some other dancers come up to me and like they tell me like a customer told them to eat something, go eat something, or you're
Yeah,
stuff
yeah,
stuff like that. I'm like, it'd be the ones who like the ugliest, brokest dudes who have such a crazy opinion on how we look.
yeah. Like I've literally heard customers at times in the past, like, damn girl, you'd be so sexy if you had a bigger boobs. Like, like you got a nice ass, but you just if you had bigger boobs, you'd be the best. You'd be fine as hell. But yet she's a beautiful girl. Like you still throwing money at her. But yet if she did this one thing, it'll be to your liking, whatever. Uh, but it
Yes,
never,
let me go get a boob job because one ugly man told me
yeah.
to get a boob job.
Some girls fall for that though. Some girls after I mean not just for that customer saying it, but they might hear it a few more times and it just gets to them if they already subconscious about their bodies anyway, in a way. So and then they end up doing it. So
What'd you say? Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I've had plenty of dudes say that mine are perfect and mine are like B's.
yeah.
Yeah, same thing. It's just yeah, I don't know.
It's it's funny because you don't see girls it's funny how some guys would do that and it's like, how about you go on stage and put your pants down? Let's see let the girls
Yeah.
judge you
How about you get
like
up there and you go take your shirt off and let's see that big old beer belly. Let's see
like
that.
like
All
let's
right?
see one testicle is bigger than the other one or something or you probably be a little bit better if you add a couple more inches or whatever. Let a girl say that to a guy. That whole thing would be they like mind blown. They feel so weird. They
They
gonna be
have a hair
mad.
that like it'll be the guys who like I just can't. Like not even to like just talk shit about customers, but
You have good customers, and you have some really horrible customers, like some rude customers that be just jerks. They think because I'm spending money, you
some
owe me.
people like think it's cool to talk shit about the other girls to me and try to make me feel better by talking shit about the other girls. I'm like,
Yeah,
oh, like no, no. I truly am a girl's girl. I root for
right.
everyone to make money. You making fun of someone for their body or just them in general is never gonna work with me. Like
Exactly.
I'll be like, I think that has happened to me like a few times, and I've always been like what's wrong with you? Like why? Like she's pretty. What are you talking about?
Mm-hmm.
What's wrong with you?
Right.
And I'll leave. Like I'll walk up and leave the conversation because that's not the type of customer I want, and it's just
I get it. I get it. Now, with it,
no, it's a new one.
so when it comes, so with the whole lifestyle, like this whole world of dancing and whatnot, like, is there an end goal for you? Like, is there how long do you expect to keep dancing, or do you have plans for the like future or what? Because I mean, I did see that you got some talent online. You know, I never told you. I haven't told you. I've been waiting to tell you for a while. I was like, I'm gonna tell her we're gonna get on the pod. But you got some. You got you're pretty good. You're pretty good. You got. I was surprised. I was surprised that one that you had that type of talent that you could. And it kind of fits you. Like you have a beautiful voice. Like I did not expect that at all.
Not a lot of
Didn't
people do, honestly.
no, no, I did not expect it. So I'm like, this this can't be the main thing. This can't be the end. It has to be end goal because I
No.
think you got some talent. Go, you got some good talent there.
Yeah, I mean that's like obviously I'm working on that. So I do music, but so that's always going to be a thing. And anyone who works on music like seriously or tries to like go to a serious producer, engineer, or whatever,
Hmm.
will tell you that it's extremely expensive.
Yeah,
Like it's very expensive. So one, like this has been working here has helped me pay for that. Like studio sessions, probably gonna help me like in the long run with like photo shoots, paying for
hmm
that type of thing. Um, but end goal, I just want to make and save as much money as I can. Um, I love that. But yeah, just like this is just something to afford my apartment,
Mm-hmm.
also to like afford to invest in myself, like with that passion.
Right.
Um, might go to school again, might do a trade. I have no idea right now.
Wait, how old are you right now?
21.
Gosh. So is 21. You have so many choices right now to do at this age. So it's like you have a long spread right now. So you could you could try a little bit of everything as you
Yeah.
go on, and to see what you like because you have a lot of time. You don't have time, but you have a lot of time. In a
It
weird way.
yeah, I mean I have time, but I don't have like time to fuck off.
You're right. That's right. Yes, that's right.
Like, and I'm kind of not like I really don't go out and
Well, what
party.
you told me about your schedule, I understand why you made me tired. Like, jeez.
Yeah, I'm tired, and so like there's appointments that I've made for like few like music stuff, and then there's like there's a whole lot of planning that goes along with anything like that. Like, but then like working the job, like working there, your sleep schedule is off, so it's like hard to manage sleep. It's hard to
Mm-hmm.
manage like appointments during the day, and then it's like hard to just like be a person.
Right.
Like breakfast does not exist in my world.
Straight lunch and dinner.
Yeah.
I get it.
Like
Uh,
my breakfast is at noon.
that's called brunch at that time.
I guess. Or sometimes later. Like I didn't eat anything until like 3 o'clock, and it was Taco Bell.
Yeah,
Taco Bell.
of all things. Yeah.
That was my breakfast.
Uh, you'll pay for that later. Uh, um,
I
but
think I'm paying for it right now, Logan.
oh god.
It's still my
So
stomach turning.
with
But
the last question, we what kind of advice would you give the next young dancer who wants to do it, like the person who's thinking about it? What would you give them as an advice? Like,
um there's a few things. Um your body is gonna really hurt
mm,
first couple weeks.
your
Like
knees,
hurt.
especially hitting that stage.
Your knees are gonna hurt, your elbows are your whole body is gonna
Mm-hmm.
hurt. Like me and my roommate first started, we had bruises all over
Mm-hmm.
and we couldn't like move. So you don't realize how taxing it is on your body until you start. And then I would also say like be aggressive. Don't don't be afraid to be mean or to ask them for money.
Mm-hmm.
Ask dudes for money. Like if you're sitting there for an hour talking to a dude, doesn't want to get a dance,
Mm-hmm.
doesn't isn't asking about it, ask for a tip. Ask
Right.
for a tip for your time. Like it's not a bad thing to be aggressive because it is your job
Right.
and your time is money. And I would also say don't ever use lotion before you go in there. Makes the fucking pole slippery.
Oh.
Yeah, don't ever like put lotion on hours prior so that it's all soaked into your skin. Don't put on lotion when you walk in there and pedicures probably. Your feet get messed up. My feet are so messed up. You get calluses on your feet from the shoes. You
And
get
hand
calluses
sanitizer,
on
y'all. Have hand sanitizer.
yes, yeah. And baby wipes. Baby wipes.
Hand sanitizer and baby wipes.
Yes. Like you need them. You need them. You need them, you need them, you need them. Oh, and this is one thing I had no idea about.
Okay.
when you're on your period, the first time I got my period when working there, I was like, well, what am I supposed to? What do I do? Either I've never used a cup, but a cup, or you gotta cut the string and
You
just
saw the Diva Cup? Is that is that what it is? The Diva Cup?
yeah,
Oh wow, I didn't know that.
yeah, like it's yeah,
Wow,
just holds yeah.
I've
I've
never.
never used one of those, but you cut the string and
I
yeah.
know about the string thing with the tampon. I know about that part, but I never knew anybody that did the Diva Cup stuff. And FYI, people, um, when guys tell me at the job, you have the best job in the world, they don't never understand this part. They would never think, oh, this is the part that comes with the job too, because I know this part. You know, with the periods is going on, and I've been times
Really?
that I've had to tell a girl, hey, you got to cut that before. They don't know. Like I've seen a
Yeah.
girl do a dance, and like the string is like out, and I gotta like, hey, cut it, something. Here's some scissors or whatever.
I mean, I think with your job, you'd probably learn a lot more about women, I'd assume.
It I know, unwantingly and unknowingly, I didn't know how much I would learn from working there. Like health class has nothing on working in the strip club industry. Like when they say, "Oh my god, I learned so much, I've seen so much," and guys are like, "Oh, you got the best job in the world," and I like, "You think so, right? You would think so." And there's good
Dude,
days, bad
culture like
days.
stress you out. Like I see it. We see it. They stress you guys out.
Oh my god, yeah, yeah. Y'all could be. Matter of fact, what was it? One of the girls yesterday who doesn't work there. She just came there to like, get something to eat and hang out a little bit. She's like, "Oh my god, I used to hate you as a bouncer when I was working here. But I mean, you're pretty cool. But I used to hate you." I'm like, yeah, you always seem to tell me that after y'all stop working here, because it's like y'all were doing the most. I'm trying to tell y'all. So my thing is, let me tell you what you need to do before they tell you what you need to do, because you don't want the boss, the whatever,
Yeah.
because it might not go well. I'd rather I
So
tell
you
you
could
than
end
they
up
tell you.
fired.
Yeah, I'd rather I tell you than they tell you, or
Yeah.
let me make sure I tell you before they like, hey, why do you tell this person this, or whatever, and then they look at me stupid. They look at me like I might get fired. I ain't trying to know. No, I'm basically covering both our asses in a way. So the more that you don't do nothing crazy, the less headaches I will have.
I would rather have a bouncer come up to me and tell me like something, or if I did, I don't even really fucking do it, whatever.
You don't
But
really
I
do
would
too
just,
much crazy stuff. You don't. You don't. It's more desire to do stuff like that.
what do you mean?
It's like it'd be more desire. Your roommate that do stuff that be a little extra sometimes, but it's still mediocre compared to like girls I've had in the past to deal with. And
Yeah, there's yeah.
hers is just like it's not really much. It's like I just have to pick on her sometimes because it's just so fun. Yeah. she's she's cool. She's cool, but it's like she has her little moments, but that is very rare in between. So
Just like drunk moments. I mean,
yeah,
I've had a couple of those where I've been like doing too much, but like as long as you're not like that, I don't know.
yeah,
I don't know. I mean, I look at other girls or hear stories about some other girls, and I'm like,
yeah. I
I,
mean, right now, even told the boss the other day, it seems to be very quiet now. The last few months, um, since a lot of the louder girls, the louder drama filled type of chicks are not there anymore. So it's kind of been running smooth right now because those girls are not around. So it's crazy how it wasn't a lot of them. It's like maybe a handful, but it was enough to like, oh my god, every week something's going on, every
yeah. I
shift.
mean, who wants to work in an environment where there's like just certain people looking for drama.
Yeah.
Like since I started working at any club, I just like some girls are literally not your friend.
Yeah, I think the morale right now in the club with the locker room like with the girls has been very positive
Cool.
lately.
Everyone's cool.
Yeah, it's real
No,
smooth. I haven't seen nobody have no real big issues on. Like if there is, y'all been coming to us like, hey, this is how I feel right now with this person, and then we'll talk to that person, and then like somehow everything gets fixed, and there's no more drama right now. Like
yeah, I mean, it's an adult business.
yeah,
Gotta
people are acting more
act
like
like an,
adults right now,
yeah, gotta act like adults. Like,
which is great.
especially with it being slow, like
Hmm.
it's weird. Like I understand there's like you were talking about like kind of I think I was talking about this a little earlier about not like seeing anybody as competition, which
Right.
I don't think, but I think there are some people who, like are like going and fighting for customers, not necessarily like vocally, but kind of like,
Right.
you know what I mean, like taking them first or some shit like that, which honestly I get it. Like I mean, no one's claimable
Hmm.
necessarily, but I don't know, and I think everybody kind of understands that. There's also like stripper etiquette
Hmm.
that usually everyone follows.
Right.
And if it's a new girl, you learn quick. Like I learned very quickly what that meant and like what you don't do.
Right.
And I still don't know everything, but
It's still a learning process, though.
yeah,
You
it's a
know.
whole new thing. Like if you're not familiar with clubs, if you like
Hmm.
whatever, you don't know.
Yeah.
But you either like ask people around you, ask questions about things, and go on YouTube, TikTok, whatever, look up how like experienced girl strippers do things, and you'll catch on quick. When I
Exactly.
first started, I went on TikTok and I looked up everything. I was like beginner pole tricks, how to do this, how to get customers, how to get regulars, da 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 da, and like you kind of just have to have your own way of doing things. And if like you can, if you want to play the shy role and just be that shy girl, whatever, that's fine. Or if you're like the more aggressive type and whatever, like it depends on how you work it.
Yeah. Right. I just funny you said that learning how to be a stripper on YouTube. Um, I looked up when I first started. This is years ago now. Jeez. I looked up on YouTube how do you be how to be a bouncer at a strip club, how to be security at a strip club, so I can kind of
Yeah,
get myself to know what I'm getting myself into. And everyone is like you know you're gonna have your own experiences and all this stuff. They help kind of say the same thing towards the end, but it is true because even when I actually started, it was nothing like from what I saw on YouTube and what they say because I had that every place is different. So and I had to develop everything my own and like just taking every bit from what I learned from other people and make it my own and just experiences my own, like, just working there, just dealing with different girls, learning different personalities. Like, yo, girls are weird as it is. When
yeah.
you're in the dancing world, it's even weirder. It's even crazier. So,
Well, if you think about it this way, it's like I keep saying, it's not a competition between girls, but if our whole job is about going on stage, showing yourself off, and then hopefully a guy likes what he sees and wants to spend money on you.
mhm.
It Your whole experience is kind of just like showing, this is a little off topic, but it's like your whole job is kind of showing what you have to offer physically. And so it kind
Mhm.
of like it's not a competition, but it definitely, the job I think sometimes tries to pin you against other people.
Yeah, I can see that.
Even though that's like kind of not how it works. But yeah, how you handle that and how you kind of cope with that type of thing is kind of up to you. I don't know. Everyone's experience is different. Everyone has a different personality type.
True. That's very true. Well, I just want to say, thank you for giving up some of your free time. I understand even more so it's very precious, because you could be doing a lot of other things that you chose to hang out with me. Once again, I appreciate you. And I thank you for just doing this with me. Just one of my favorites. Just saying. Um, just, is there any, before we go, any thing you want to plug, like your Instagram or whatever, or all that?
Yeah, you could tag my Instagram.
Okay, all right,
Do that.
sounds good. So y'all know where to find her if you like what you see, especially, you know where you can ask her where she's at. You come see her. Spend a couple dollars.
Only come see me if you want to spend money though.
Yes, that's it. So not for conversations.
No time for time is money.
The 5 to 10 minute conversation, then we go into the dance. Yeah. After if it's 10 minutes after, sorry, we gotta go. We gotta move. But I really, like you said, appreciate you coming on. This has been great, and this is why I wanted to have you on because, I don't pick. It's hard to pick. No, it's not hard to pick girls. I try to pick the right girls to be on the show that will give some good info and behind the scenes and also some knowledge to people that don't know anything about this. And, with the misconceptions that people have about the nightlife and strip clubs and dancers, I'm glad that you were able to come on and give your part, into the misconceptions of people's minds. And maybe they change it up a little bit. But yes.
Yeah, hopefully. I mean, it's 2025.
Yeah, loosen up. But this has been great, y'all. Y'all already know for the likes, subscribes, comments, and the hit down below. I will link her into the bio and on the Instagrams and everything. Please be sure to be back next Tuesday for another episode. And this is the BearatNight podcast. This is Gwen, the beautiful Gwen. Yeah, beautiful Gwen. On the pod again, thank her so much again. And this is the Dance Locker Room. This is BearatNight podcast. Bear it all, be yourself. We out. Peace.
You are now listening to BearatNight Podcast with your host, Jurassic Parker.